Okay, so let's answer some problems regarding working capital and financing decision and additional fund needed. Para lang mas ma-enhance natin or mas ma-master natin yung topic. So, sige. Sagot tayo. Problem number 1. So, sabi, Will's company has 8 million in current assets. So, 3.5 which are considered permanent asset, while the rest is temporary current asset. So, the firm has 6 million invested in fixed assets. So, Will's company wishes to finance all fixed asset and permanent current assets, plus half of its temporary current assets with long-term financing costing 15%. While yung short-term financing naman currently cost 10%. So, Will's company's earnings before interest and taxes are 2,200,000. Income tax rate is 40%. So, how much will Will's company's earnings after taxes under this financing plan? O, sige. Unahin natin alamin is yung ilan yung ipafinance ng long term. Ang sabi, diba, yung fixed asset daw lahat, ipafinance ng long-term financing. So, magkano ating fixed asset? 6 million. Then, pati daw lahat ng permanent current assets, ipafinance ng using long-term financing. So, lagyan natin lahat ng permanent current assets amounting to 3,500. And sabi, plus half of its temporary current assets. So, yung kalahati daw ng temporary current asset is ipafinance ng long-term financing. So, magkano yung ating temporary current asset? 8 million less 3,500,000. Makukuha natin is 4,500,000 or 4,500,000. And diba sabi niya kalahati. So, 50%. So, ano 50% ng 4,500,000? 2,250,000. So, makukuha natin is 11,750,000. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung amount ng ipafinance natin or ito yung amount ng long-term financing natin since ito yung total ng assets na kailangang i-finance ng long-term financing. So, punta naman tayo sa short-term financing. Ano naman daw yung finance ng short-term obligations? So, meron tayong isang temporary current asset. And ito yung kalahati. Kasi diba yung kalahati ng temporary current asset natin is ipa-finance ang long-term financing. So, ito na yung short-term. So, ngayon, tinatanong tayo magkano earnings after taxes under this financing plan. So, magkano ating earnings before interest and taxes? 2,200,000. Tapos, bago tayo mag-arrive sa after taxes, kunin muna natin yung earnings after interest. So, paano natin makukuha yung mga interest? So, sabi daw kasi, yung ating long-term financing costing 15%. So, ito, multiply natin sa 15%. Kasi, 11,750,000 yung kukuhanin nating long-term financing para makover lahat ng asset na to. Itong asset. So, 11,750,000, magkano makukuha natin? 1,762,500. While ito naman is 10%. Kasi diba sabi daw, short-term financing currently cost 10%. So, makukuha natin is 225,000. So, mayroon na tayong value ng interest. So, deduct na natin. So, 1,762,500 tsaka 225,000. So, deduct natin to. Ang makukuha natin is 2 Nakuha natin is 212,500. And magkano ating tax rate? 40%. So, ibig sabihin, yung after tax natin is 60%. So, times natin sa 0.6, makukuha natin is 127,500. So, ito na yung sagot sa number 1. So, ibig sabihin, si Wills Companies, makaka-earn siya ng 127,500 by using this approach. Ano yung ating policy? Conservative. Bakit ulit? Kasi may part ng temporary asset yung ipafinance ng long-term financing. So, masyado tayong relax. Kaya, conservative policy yung in-apply ni Wills Company. So, punta na tayo sa problem number 2. So, sabi, Luminous Company has a total fixed assets of 100,000 and no current liabilities. So, meron tayong fixed asset na 100,000. So, the table displays its wide variation in current asset components. So, ito yung mga current asset. So, if Luminous policy is to finance all fixed asset and half the permanent current assets with long-term financing, and rest with short-term financing, magkano yung level ng long-term financing? Sige, kunin natin yung permanent tsaka temporary. So, again, paano natin malalaman kung magkano yung permanent asset? Kung magkano daw yung pinakamababa. Ngayon para gagawin, kukunin pa ba yung isa-isa na, yung isa-isa po ba na pinakamababa? No, let's look for the total. So, among the total, ano yung pinakamababa? Diba, 100,000. Ito. So, ito na yung kukunin natin na permanent asset. Permanent current asset. So, 100,000. Again, bakit pinakamababa? Kasi hindi naman sila mag-a-arrive sa 106, sa 121, at sa 118,000 nang hindi nag-a-arrive sa 100,000. And again, ang definition ng permanent current asset natin is ito yung mga current asset na hindi nagbabari during the year. So, ibig sabihin, mula first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, tsaka fourth quarter, humantong talaga sila sa 100,000 na current asset. Kaya ito yung permanent current asset. Ngayon, kunin natin yung temporary. Paano natin makukuha yung temporary na current asset? Sabi natin, yung pinakamaliit, deduct natin sa pinakamataas. So, magkano yung pinakamataas? 121,000. So, 121,000 less 100,000 is 21,000. So, ito yung temporary current asset. Ngayon, pwede natin kunin kung magkano yung level ng long-term financing tsaka short-term financing. So, actually, long-term lang naman hinahanap. Pero kunin na rin natin pati yung short-term. So, sabi daw, yung long-term financing, ipa-finance niya yung lahat ng fixed asset. So, magkano yung fixed asset natin? 100,000. And pati daw yung kalahati ng permanent asset. So, magkano yung ating permanent asset? Permanent current assets, 100,000. So, 100,000 times 50% kasi kalahati. So, 50,000. So, ibig sabihin, yung ating level ng long-term financing should be 150,000. Short term naman, paano? So, permanent current asset, yung kalahati. Sabi daw kasi, the rest short term financing. So, 50,000. Tapos, yung temporary natin, magkano? $21,000. So, ibig sabihin, 71,000 yung level ng short-term financing. So, anong klaseng policy to? So, ang policy nito is aggressive. Why? Kasi, may part ng permanent asset yung ipafinance ng short-term financing. Mataas yung risk niyan. Kasi, di ba, permanent yan So, hindi sila nagbabari during the year. Pero ang ipafinance mo, short-term. So, pwede mag-mature na to. Pero eto, di pa rin nagbabago yung value niya. Or wala pa tayo masyadong nakukuha na return. So, dahil dyan, short term, mataas yung risk, mataas naman yung return nun. So, meron tayong ito ay aggressive policy. So, yun na yung sagot sa number 2. So, di ba sobrang dali lang. So, punta tayo sa problem number 3. So, problem number 3, it involves AFN. So, sabi, Pacho company recently reported sales of 100 million and net income equal to 5 million. So, company has 70 million in total assets. Over the next year, the company is forecasting a 20% increase in sales. So, since the company is at full capacity, then assets must increase in proportion to sales. So, the company also estimates that if sales increase 20%, spontaneous liabilities will increase by 2 million. So, if the company's sales increase, its profit margin will remain at its current level. So, the company's dividend payout ratio is 40%. So, based on the RNF formula, how much additional capital must the company raise in order to support the 20% increase in sales? So, sige. Sagutin natin. So, ano ulit yung formula ng AFN o yung nating RNF? So, AFN is equals to spontaneous asset less spontaneous liabilities less profit retained. So, makukuha yung spontaneous asset. So, sabi daw, yung increase in sales, multiply mo sa current asset over sales. Ganun din sa spontaneous liability. Increase in sales, multiply sa current liabilities over sales. So may profit retained naman. So, yung sales, multiply natin sa percent ng profit margin, multiply sa percent ng retention rate. So, sige. Sabi daw, ini-expect or pino-forecast nila na mayroong 20% increase in sales. Magkano yung ating sales? 100 million. So, 100 million, multiply natin sa 0.2. Sabihin, meron tayong increase na 20 million. Multiply natin sa current asset over sales. Magkano natin current asset? 70 million over 100 million. Makukuha natin dyan is 14 million rather. So, actually, para mas mabilis at di tayo humantong sa ito, di ba sabi naman daw kasi is, yung increase ng asset is proportion sa increase ng sales. Magkano ba yung increase ng sales? Di ba 20%? Magkano yung ating total assets? 70 million. So, 70,000 times mo lang sa 0.2, makukuha mo is 14 million. So, yun yung shortcut para kung ayaw mo ng mahaba. Next, dun tayo sa spontaneous liability. So, magkano din yung given ng liabilities? Ma'am, wala po. Wala pong indicated sa problem. Paano yun? Paano natin makukunin kung hindi siya indicated sa problem? Ang sabi naman sa problem kasi, meron tayong spontaneous liability. Ito yung spontaneous liability. Ano yung nahanap natin? Spontaneous liability. So, ibig sabihin, hindi natin kailangan humantong sa ganito. Kasi si problem, binigay niya na mismo magkano yung spontaneous liabilities. So, dahil dyan, lagay lang natin is 2 million. So, dito na yan. Hindi na natin kailangan mag-compute kasi nga, si problem, binigyan niya na mismo magkano ba talaga yung total na spontaneous liabilities or magkano yung tumaas na liabilities. last tayo sa profit retain. Natin makukuha yung profit retain. Ma'am, binigay na yung net income. So, yun yung profit. Multiply na po ba natin agad sa dividend payout ratio na 40%? The answer is no. Again, ano kailangan natin? Retention rate. Ma'am, paano makukuha yung retention rate? Diba, si retention rate, opposite lang siya ng dividend payout. So, yung percentage ng dividend payout plus yung percentage or percent ng retention ratio, pag pinag-equals mo yun, is equals to 100%. O, yun pala eh. So, ang dividend payout natin is 40%. So, 100% multiply sa dividend payout, makukuha natin is 60%. So, ibig sabihin, yung ating retention rate is 60%. Sorry for that. Okay, next. Di ba, okay na. So, 5 million times 60%. Kasi, ayun na yung net income eh. So, di na natin kailangan multiply yung sales dun sa profit margin. Lalo din pong given na profit margin. So, note ko lang, sabi daw, yung ating company sales increase, its profit margin will remain at its current level. Again, sabi ko sa profit retain, ano yung sales natin? Yung mismong sales lang ba nung taon or kasama yung forecasted? Diba kasama yung forecasted? So, ibig sabihin, kailangan natin makuha magkano ba yung net income natin after reflecting the 20% increase. So, paano gagawin natin? Una, kunin natin magkano yung profit margin ratio o yung percent ng profit margin. So, sabi daw, yung sales daw natin, may tayong 100 million. Magkano income natin nun? 5 million. So, 5 million over 10 million. Nakukuha natin is, 100 million rather. So, makukuha natin is 5%. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung ating profit margin. %. Then again, magkano yung sales natin after reflecting increase? So, 100 million. Multiply natin sa 120%. Makukuha natin is 120 million. Tapos, ito yung multiply natin sa 5%. Para makuha natin kung magkano yung profit margin or magkano yung profit natin. After natin i-reflect yung pinorcast na 20% increase. So, times 0.05. Makukuha natin is 6 million. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung income natin. And then, wait lang. So, multiply natin siya sa retention rate para malaman natin magkano ba yung profit na i-retain natin. Yung 40% daw kasi ipapamigay as dividend sa mga shareholders. Yung 60% lang yung i-retain natin sa RE. So, 6 million times 0.6, makukuha natin is 3,600,000. So, ibig sabihin, parang ito lang yung amount ng RE natin. So, less natin dito. So, kompleto na natin. Pwede na natin makuha si AFN or RNF. So, 40 million less 2 million less 3,600,000. Makukuha natin is 8,400,000. So, ito na yung sagot sa number 3. Ibig sabihin, 12 million yung spontaneous net asset natin. Meron na tayong 3,600,000 sa ating RE. So, kailangan pa natin ng 8,400,000. And, kukuha natin siya by using external financing, which are yung long-term debt, preference shares, and common shares. So, ito na yan. Punta tayo sa last problem. Problem number 4. So, di ba sobrang dali lang? Ayan, kaya natin masagatan. So, sabi daw, calculate the total assets of Premier Company given the following information. So, again, yung formula natin is spontaneous asset less spontaneous liability less profit retained. Ito ulit, increase in sales, multiply sa CA over sales. Less increase in sales, multiply sa liabilities over sales. Less natin sa profit retained. Na sales, multiply sa profit margin, multiply sa retention rate. Okay, so sabi daw, ang sales this year is 3 million. Meron tayong projected na increase in sales amounting to 20%. So, magkano yung increase in sales natin? 600,000. So, lagyan natin siya dito. Ang net income this year, 250,000. So, dividend payout ratio is 40%. Meron tayong projected excess funds available next year, 100,000. And ito daw yung ating mga current liabilities. So, except for the accounts noted, there were no other current liabilities. Assume that the firm's profit margin remains constant and that the company is operating at full capacity. So, sige, solve tayo. So, unahin natin is, magkano EFN? May EFN ba tayo? Actually, wala. Kasi ang sabi daw, nagkaroon daw tayo ng projected excess funds available next year. Sabihin, hindi tayo nagkulang. Ang nangyari, sumobra tayo. So, paano yun natin ilalagay sa formula yun? Negative. Kasi nag-exist pa eh. Parang mas malaki yung RE natin kaysa dun sa spontaneous asset. So, ibig sabihin, enough yung ating RE to finance those spontaneous net assets. So, hindi na natin kailangang mag-resort to external financing. That's why, wala tayong additional fund needed. Ang meron tayo, excess. Again, sa formula, ay na siya. So, kunin na natin yung babalik. Kasi ang nawawala is, magkano yung asset or yung total asset. Dito, nawawala. So, ating dividend payout ratio, yung ating RR is 60%. Sabi ko nga, complementary sila. So, dahil 40% yung ating dividend payout ratio, 60% yung ating RR. Ngayon, kunin natin yung magkano yung profit margin. So, meron na tayong income na 250,000. And yung ating sales, 3 million. So, magkano ating profit margin? 3 million. 0.833 or 8.33%. Eh, sabi daw, yung ating profit margin, it remains constant. So, ibig sabihin, nung nagtaas yung ating sales, ito pa rin yung ating profit margin. So, pwede natin makuha yung yung profit retained. So, magkano ating total sales after reflecting yung increase? So, 3 million times 1.2. So, 3.6. So, 3.6. Multiply natin yung profit margin na 8.33%. Yung ating RR na 60%. Makuha natin is 180,000. So, ito na ilalagay natin dito. Ngayon, kunin natin yung current. Itong side, ito yung spontaneous liability. Profit retained. Yan. So, punta tayo sa spontaneous na current liability. So, para makuha yun, di ba, yung ating increase in sales, magkano increase in sales natin? 600,000. Multiply din natin siya sa current liabilities over sales. Ang sales natin, 3 million. So, magkano natin current liabilities natin? So, 600 plus 100 plus 200, 900. So, 900 may ilalagay natin? No. Why? Lahat ba to spontaneous? Diba hindi? Ano yung non-spontaneous dito? Ito, notes payable. Kasi hindi siya sumasabay sa galaw ng sales. So, kapag tumaas yung sales natin, hindi naman tataas yung utang natin. O yung kailangan natin bayaran dun sa pinag-utangan natin. So, di porket tumaas yung sales, sasabihin natin kay sa pinag-utangan natin na, uy, tumaas sales namin, itataas ko na rin yung utang. So, di ba, medyo hibang ka na sa part na yun. Kasi liabilities yun eh. Tapos, ikaw lang ata yung magtataas ng liabilities dahil tumaas yung sales. So, mali yun. So, dahil doon, less natin to si 100,000. Ang kailangan natin i-consider is si 600,000 tsaka si 200,000. So, 800K. So, magkano makukuha natin? So, 800 divided by 3 million. Multiply sa 600,000. Makukuha natin is 160,000. So, mayroon na tayo ditong amount. So, kunin mo natin itong magkano yung spontaneous asset. Sige, kunin mo natin yan. And pag nakuha natin yan is, sige, ito, transpose natin doon, tsaka ito. Formula transformation. So, pag nag-transpose tayo, yung negative, magiging positive. So, mangyayari, x is equals to 160,000 plus 180,000 less 100,000. So, makukuha natin is 240,000. So, ibig sabihin yung ating spontaneous asset is 240,000. So, doon na ba tayo magtatapos? Yun na ba yun? The answer is no. Kung, ma'am, so okay. Ano pa susunod na gagawin natin? Kunin natin si total asset. Kasi inahanap si total asset eh. So, then makukuha na natin is paano yung computation spontaneous asset? So, increase in sales. Total asset, rather. Ano pala to? Spontaneous total asset. So, increase in sales. Multiply natin sa total asset over sales. So, magkano natin increase sa sales natin? 600,000. Multiply natin sa total asset over sales. Magkano natin total sales? 3 million. Ay magkano natin spontaneous total asset natin? Diba? 240,000. So, sige, kunin mo natin yung side na to. So, pag ganito, diba, gagawin natin is pag multiply lang natin. So, dapat actually yan, 600x over 3 million. Pero kaya ba natin i-lowest term? Yes, pwede. So, 3 million divided by 600. So, ito, 1. Ito, magiging 5. Eh, yung ating so, mangyayari is x over 5. Or, yung iba niya, pwede natin gawin is 1 over 5, 20%. So, 0.2x. So, ito na yun. Divide natin sa 0.2 para makuha natin yung value ng x. So, x is equals to 1,200,000. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung ating total asset. So, kailangan yung total asset natin is 1,200,000 para makuha natin yung para magkaroon tayo ng projected na excess funds available for next year. So, para sumobra or para magkaroon tayo ng excess sa RE natin, kailangan meron tayong total asset na 1,200,000. So, dahil dyan, parang hindi na natin kailangan kumuha ng external financing. Kasi enough na si RE to finance spontaneous net assets. So, yun lang. So, di ba? Sobrang dali lang nung topic natin. So, ganun lang yung pag-compute natin ng working capital and financing decisions, problems relating to that, and EFN or additional fund needed. So, again, ibang tawag sa additional fund needed, EFN, external financing needed. And last is yung RNF, yung required needed fund. So that is our discussion.